Good morning, everyone. So I just wanted to share with you quickly, these are the flosses that I wound between the two meetings I had yesterday, 2 half-hour meetings that I was just listening in on, and then the rest I finished just kind of vegging in front of the TV after dinner. It is a balmy 13 degrees. Yeah. Oh, and there's a mosky, and hubby with mushki. So, this morning I was so trying to catch the beautiful frozen windows, but by the time I went to grab my camera, the sun did its job, although I will still try. At some point, maybe first thing tomorrow morning, I'll bring my camera upstairs. There's just the right spot, and the frozen window, the glass on the exterior storm window, just looks like nature's glitter, and it's just gorgeous. I really want to capture that. So I have to admit, I'm rather obsessed with my new mug. This is the third time I've used it in 18 hours, 20 hours. Yeah, I got it less than 24 hours ago. So I have my Darjeeling tea in it. Quite tasty, and I made the tea in my Keurig because, unfortunately, my water cooler that has hot water is out of water, and I don't get a delivery until next Monday. I could call and request an earlier delivery and cancel the one that's supposed to be on Monday, but to be honest, I mean, I don't think it's worth it. I could wait just a few more days, not a big problem. I'll just have to remember to order 2 5-gallons of water instead of 1, because we definitely ran out. I've been drinking a lot of water from the cooler. I use it to make my SodaStream seltzer. So, and I drink, I think 3 liters of water a day. I'm trying to. I could tell on weekends I definitely don't get as much water. I don't know why that is. I think it's because I have a very specific routine Monday through Friday, and on weekends everything just kind of goes out the window because we kind of do things fly by the seat of our pants. Oh, and I have clear. Hold on. Let me grab my little bottle. I have this Color Club chunky glitter. It's got small dots, medium size hex, and larger hex. I just put it on top of base coat and a top coat. Just something, a little something on my nails. So I didn't get around to doing the pot rack yesterday because after dinner, I don't know, when your internal battery starts to run down, you're like, oh, I don't think I'm going to be able to tackle it, and I didn't want to leave it half done all over the kitchen, so I did not even start it. So that's on my to-do list for today. By the way, the egg drop tomato soup that I made yesterday, I know what I'm going to do differently next time, and one of my viewers was absolutely right. Because I make a creamy base tomato soup, I think that egg incorporated more like a slurry rather than as strands, although there were a few strands. So the next time I will make it with water or stock instead of milk, so you won't have that dairy element in it. And then when I drop the egg, I won't whisk quite as vigorously as I did, and I think that will produce the strands of like that egg drop. And I think egg drop soup also it might have a little bit of cornstarch in it. I might have to I'll do a little research, but I'll definitely try it again. I won't abandon that idea because I think the flavor was tasty. It was very, very creamy, very, very smooth. And it didn't get much thicker than Polly's because his did not have egg in it. He did taste it and he's like, oh, that's interesting. So that means he did not like it, which is fine. Not everything is going to be a fabulous hit, so that's okay. And it is nice and sunny outside. That's why it's so cool. Moses is feeling a little better, although I think he did throw up last night once, but he's eating fine, so I just have to keep Polly away from him because Polly has a tendency to give him table food even when he's not feeling good, thinking, oh, he's doing him a favor by being nice to him. He's not. He's doing the complete opposite. He needs to feel better So I might feed him some rice today, see if that'll help his tummy. So I have my, I am going to use another container because I want to keep those two separated. And then I have the baggie of all of the ones that are still intact. Now, just for ha-has, I did spool an entire brand new floss on, and I wanted to see how plump it was going to get, and this is it. That's not too bad. So if you wanted to convert all of them. So there you go. Alright, off to probably see the girls. See how they're doing. I don't have any more watermelon to give them yet, so I might cut a couple of oranges and give them that as a treat, maybe a few carrots. So tonight's dinner is going to be mini meatloaves with lots of veggies inside. So peppers, onions, I might even sneak in some frozen spinach to mix in there, and then a side of roasted carrots from the oven. I figure I'm going to have the oven on already, and I don't want to go with potatoes because I really need to cut some of that white starchy stuff that turns into sugars in your system out of our diet. So I know Paulie loves potatoes, and he's probably going to be craving it, but I'm going to try and swap it out for oven roasted carrots. Oy vey, have I chatted up enough? Alright, I'll be back in a few. There's my lunch. It's leftover turkey soup from end of last week with some cheese and crackers. I like something crunchy and a little dairy. Yummy. I put a squeeze of hot sauce in there. And now I'm going to enjoy Access Hollywood during my lunch hour and maybe reply to some emails. I feel like I want to give you a sneak peek, but I don't want to give you too much, so it has been a really busy day. I was supposed to go to the post office. I was supposed to mail a package. I never made it there, and huge apologies I will send to the individual who has been more than patient on receiving this particular item. So I will have a separate video of the project that I have to do, and I'm not sure whether I should post it before they receive it. I might as well just give them a sneak peek. So I'll do the video, I'll post it, and when it goes live, I'll add it to the About section, which is below. And if you only see a sentence or two, just click more, and it expands it to show you anything additionally. I typically add any links that I might have mentioned in my vlog in the About section. So yeah, they keep changing it. Sometimes it's a description, sometimes it's a, now it's about. So just like with anything with YouTube, you get used to the fact that everything changes. And initially when Google Plus was being urged to use, rather than communicate through YouTube directly with messaging, it seemed like all the messages were coming from Google Plus, and then a lot of people kind of stopped commenting because they didn't want to have a Google Plus account or opted not to, and some people couldn't remember their password. So there's a lot of issues initially, and then I noticed that now I may get one or two, a small handful of Google Plus comments on videos. Most of them are still being made on YouTube directly, so I don't know if it's because of the feedback that YouTube has received that the Google Plus way of leaving comments was just, chaos or not favorable for a lot of people. Not entirely sure. You know that there's a feedback option on most screens on YouTube. So once you're logged in, if there's something that you feel is really not functioning well, or you wish they'd bring something back, you can always send them feedback. There's just a couple of steps you have to go through. You could do, I think you can include the screen you're in. I don't remember. It's been a while since I've done one of those, but I know they come up periodically. So I am just waiting to hear back from Paulie. I give him one last chance to change his mind about dinner. So I have spinach thawing in the sink from the freezer, and I'm going to give him an option whether he wants meatloaf or meatballs. Either way, I'll pretty much use the same content. Probably a little bit of shredded carrots, caramelized caramelized onions, which I will saute first. They add a lot of flavor to meat, also a lot of moisture. Egg, Parmesan cheese, parsley, the typical stuff, but I thought adding spinach might be a nice little boost. And then either way, meatloaf or meatballs, they'll be baking in the oven, and I'll put the carrots alongside of them. So, and he's been really busy today as well on the road, so I have not heard back from him yet, but I have plenty of time. It's only 5:20, 5:22. Probably won't be home till like 8ish, 7:30, 8ish, so I have plenty of time. So I'm finishing up work. It was really considerably busier today than I had anticipated. I wasn't able to get a lot of stuff done during lunch. I did eat my lunch, which really warmed me up because something's up with our garage door. It didn't want to open, and then it didn't want to close. It took me like 20 minutes between opening and trying to close it when I was done tending to the chickens. I'm getting a little concerned that it either stays open or I can't get it open because I can't get into the garage from the side door because of the way the coop is situated. So I'm kind of fearful that the chickens will get stranded in the garage without any access to them. I suppose we'll have to cross that when it comes to it. And our garage door opener, the mechanism, is from 1977. It's an old one. Like, there's no bypass for me to open it manually, I don't think. So, I don't know. I have to figure it out. And my dad's in Florida, so it's not like I can even ask him to come over and help. And my husband's not exactly what you would call handy. And for anybody to come and take a look at the mechanism, they can't really get to it because it's beyond where the coop is. So it's like a double-edged sword. We can't bring the chickens out now. It's too cold for them to not be inside the building of the garage. Oh, if it's not one thing, it's your mother. Isn't that the expression? I feel like I need to accomplish something today just to feel better about the way the day is unfolding. It's okay. Nice meal with my hubby and snuggling with the dogs under a blankie will take care of all of that. So I'm just finishing something up for work, and then I'll be able to move on and hopefully tackle that pot rack in the kitchen. I have, to be honest, not really looking forward to doing it, but I know it needs to get done. So I'm gonna probably just go grab some iced tea with honey that I found in the mudroom. It was almost crystallized ice, so I'm like, ooh, iced tea slushy. Now I'm rambling, so I'll be back. Another seed catalog arrived today, and I'm going to peruse it in the living room. I think I'm done with work for now. Heirloom tomatoes. Look at those. Black creme. Peppers. We don't have good luck with peppers. Herbs. Onions and garlic. Yeah, definitely not growing potatoes. I'm not even sure if I'm going to put beans in this year. Peas. Rutabaga. Definitely going to grow kale because I find that I eat a lot of it. Wow, look at those purple haze hybrid carrots. Gourds, cucumbers. I think I need to decide what I want to have in the garden, and then I'll decide what we need to pick up. I know some of the herbs are going to come back. The rosemary did not make it in the house, so we're going to need to get a new one. That's okay. I'm going to go read this, grab a marker, and do all sorts of circling. Okay, it's time to make dinner. Well, I am making dinner, so I lined my quarter sheet size bundt pans, or they're not cookie pans, it's the pans that I use from Restaurant Depot, with foil, with heavy duty foil, because Paulie mentioned he does not like washing these. So I'm hoping if I use this, I could just throw that out and not worry about washing them, or just rinse them easily. So what I have in here is about half a head of cauliflower right there. And 2 or 3 big pieces of carrots, sliced and, cut into pieces, with olive oil, black pepper, and salt. I'm going to let them go in the oven at 375 for about 15-20 minutes, and then I'm going to drizzle some balsamic vinegar on them and put them back in, and the balsamic will caramelize. And I'm going to use that older or aged balsamic. And I did the vegetables first because I'm going to use the same bowl to do the meatballs. So I've already sauteed the onions and garlic for the meatballs. And oh, Moses, would you like a carrot? Here you go. So I'm going to put this in the oven, and then I'll off to make the meatballs. They're going to be in the made in the oven. I'm not frying them. I'm baking them. Oh, excuse me. So what I have in the bowl is 90% lean ground sirloin, about 1.5 pounds, I think, and the sauteed onions and garlic, 1 shredded carrot, about 3/4 cup of panko breadcrumbs, 1/4 cup of grated Parmesan cheese. I'm going to squeeze out some of the water out of the spinach that's thawed out in the sink, and I'm going to add that. And then I also added a packet of this dill seasoning. It has garlic, dill, salt. So I did not add salt. So what I'm going to do is after I mix it, I'm going to add an egg, and then I'll do this all off camera because it's going to be messy. I'm going to mix with my hands. I'm going to add 1 egg, spinach, and then I'm going to fry a tiny little bit of the mixture in the frying pan that I just did the onions, and then I'll taste it, see if the seasoning is right. Don't be afraid to do that. You obviously can't taste the raw meat, but you can always fry up a tiny little meatball and try it out. And if it's good, I could share it with the kids. Right, kids? Alright, I'll be right back. There's my tiny, itty-bitty little taster meatball. I know it looks a little sad, but he'll be okay. I just want to make sure I'm not tasting raw ground beef. And I only used about a little more than half of the spinach. So I'm going to make eggs Florentine probably Saturday morning. So now I have the spinach. I'm just going to wring out the rest of the liquid and put it in a Ziploc bag and put it in the fridge instead of freezer. So I'll have it up too high. See how the veggies are doing. They need more time. And I'm going to add a little water to the pan, let it cook up, because I don't want to eat raw ground beef or ground sirloin. Alright, hot meatball. Yep, cooked all the way through. Let's taste it. You know what? It doesn't need anything. So I'm going to make up the meatballs, put them on this cookie sheet, and pop them in the oven. Okay, meatballs going in the oven. Paulie is on his way home, and hopefully they'll be done by the time he gets home. I'm going to drizzle some balsamic on the veggies. Okay, that's about 2 tablespoons of balsamic going back in the oven. I'll check on them about 5-10 minutes. There's a balsamic, carrots, and cauliflower. And I'm about to take the meatballs out, and I'll show you what that looks like in our bowls, and then we're going to go eat. There's the meatballs. Look at that, all those veggies in there. Spinach and carrots, sauteed onions and garlic. Yum! That's it. That's dinner. I'm going to give it to Paulie, and I'm going to make my bowl up. And I'm going to call it a night. Don't forget to thumbs up. It's free for you and it helps me out. I hope you enjoyed hanging out, visiting with me through my little daily adventures. Don't forget, you can always request something if you want to see something specific. I will try to accommodate. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all tomorrow.